speaker. That's very good, but I will give you more inside information, which I know. First, she is only 18 years old. For me personally, it's shocking. 18 years old, sorry, I will say baby, and she's talking like mature, more than, I don't know, that's, from my point of view, is huge advance. How come 18 years old can talk about this subject and talk, not only talk, give good ideas? And then, another secret I will tell you, I know Selin before knowing her dad. How happened that? I was in LinkedIn, I checking and scanning whom I can befriend. I saw her, I don't know who is she, I started to check. I sent her message, we want to be friends, and we were friends. After a couple of months, or I don't know how many months, I had a chance to meet with her dad, our president, and we are in the hotel, what is the name of the hotel? We're having coffee there and exploring each other. We told her, and because he said his name is Gul, last name is Gul, and I said, I have a friend, her name is Gul, and she's a designer. Do you know her? She's my daughter. How come? It's me. I know Gul family from the beginning. And third, you should know everybody, Gul means flower. Not only Gul, because I understand. Now you are not Turkish language. Gul is very nice flower, which is true. The name is corresponding to the reality. And what else? Oh, she is student. Everybody is student, but is not only a student, she's at the vice president of the corporate relations, I believe. Now, I believe our mission to support her, we will push her, I will do that, my personal, push her to Harvard University after Fraser University.
I am Selin, I think you might know that. So I'm going to be talking about myself today. And I'm just going to talk about school, what I do education-wise, work, and then what I've done with the Rotary so far, and then just to go into like goals and future and all of that. So school, I go to Capilano University, so in September I'm going into my second year of business administration, and I am so happy to be at Cap. Out of high school, I was like, I want to go to a big university, I want to leave Vancouver, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then my parents were kind of like, please, like, calm down, like, go to school here for a bit, like, figure it out. And I had such an amazing experience here. First name basis, my professors, so thankful for them. And I think my favorite professor last year was actually my marketing professor. And at big schools like UBC or something, you would, you know, have a question to ask your professor, but your student number like 472, you cannot even contact your professor. You have to contact the TA, who can't see you this Wednesday, but she can probably see you 2 Wednesdays later for 25 minutes. But with Ivan, who was my marketing prof, I could email him and be like, hey Ivan, like I need help. And he'll be like, hey, like you can come up to my office hours now, and I would sit there for 2 hours, talk about school, the questions I had regarding the course, and then also I'd be like, oh, here's my website, like, do you mind taking a look at my website and telling me what you think of it? And he would sit there and go through my entire marketing website with me and be like, this is what I think you can improve on, like, you're doing this well. And he currently does marketing, like, he has his PhD in marketing, has a marketing company, and, like, this is not something I could get anywhere else. So, that is Cap, and I'm very happy with it. So, yes, so is my bachelor's. This is a family photo. There's Dad. This is 2 years ago, so that's Grandma, me, my mom, my father, and my little brother. And that was after graduating high school. So that was when I went to Rockridge. Rockridge is an amazing high school too. I used to go to Sentinel up in West Van, then in grade 10 switched to Rockridge and loved it. Such a good high school experience. Learned a lot. Amazing professors, amazing friends. Like everyone was just so kind.
Can we ask questions?
Yes, of course.
What did you find was different from Sentinel and Rockridge?
It was definitely the people. Like the students. Up at Sentinel, it's located in the BPs, and what you have there is you have a lot of vacant homes that have international students. They're living by themselves. They don't have parents here. It's like these mansions, like that probably fit 15 people, and it's one person there, and they have a nanny coming in maybe at night, because they're too young to sleep still, like sleep alone, because they are like actually 14. And those people at school are sad. Like it is sad, like being there, just a completely different energy there. It's a bunch of kids that aren't very social. If you want to go hang out with someone, you go sit in an empty house, and it's very sad. But at Rockridge, it was like friends that like from Bowen, Lions Bay, people coming from Squamish, like Caulfield. I feel like Caulfield is way more family orientated than the British properties are. So like the kids were so different. Like they'd be like, oh, let's go hang out, and we would sit in this like mansion and like not really talk. But then with my like Rockridge friends, I'd be like, let's do something, and we would go on like a hike and like a kayak at Deep Cove. So I think that's what the main thing was for me, was the students and like what they do and what they want to do. Yeah, so school, I'm going to be focusing on marketing because I do marketing now, and I want to keep focusing on it, and I really like it. I love learning it, like just being in class. Like, I think I'm so lucky to be able to learn what I love learning. Like, I love school. There's 27 days until it starts, and I'm excited for it to start, which is so weird. And all my friends, like, I don't want to go back, and it's because they're learning what they don't want to learn, right? Like, they're in these engineering programs, and they're sitting there, and I'm like, they're like, I don't like this, but I know I can have a good job if I get, study engineering. And then I'm there, like, I love school. Like, every day I go into there, sit there for an hour, 20 minutes, and I come out with, like, things I can actually apply in real life, and I'm so thankful for that. These are 3 jobs I have on campus next year. I don't know why I did this to myself. I got 3, and then I'm also doing 5 courses and working full time, so we're gonna have a really fun year next year.
I can't read them. Can you say them?
So it is the Vice President of Corporate Relations, and I'm doing that within Enactus, which is the entrepreneurship club at Capilano University, and there's one in mostly every single university across North America. So I'm doing VP of Corporate Relations, which means I go and I talk to all of our people who manage our funds and stuff. Yes, Dad?
Just a question, how you be appointed in that position? Just tell us.
In September, I met this girl named Janaea, who is in Members at Large of Enactus, and she said, oh, like, I think you'd love this and stuff, and then I was kind of like, oh, whatever, because I was planning on transferring out of Capilano University after my first year anyway, so I was like, I don't want to get involved in clubs. And then in my second semester, my organizational behavior professor is actually like the sponsoring faculty for this club, and she came up to me at the end of the semester and was like, hey, like, so we have this club, like, please, like, join it, like, I think you'd be perfect for it. And I was like, okay, like, sure, I'll actually, like, think about it now, because I'm going to be staying at Capilano in September. And then I was volunteering at something called Jumpstart in June. It's when oncoming students just out of high school come to CAP, and they're like, what is CAP, what is university? I was volunteering there, and then I was talking to this girl, and we just kept talking and talking, and then later she's like, oh, by the way, I'm the president of Enactus, can you please join our team? And I was like, okay, sure. And then we did an interview that was like 5 minutes, and then I got my job, so I'm very happy about that one. The next one is student ambassadors. So that is one that I applied for, and it's basically just being a student ambassador, so just helping people out on campus. So I work in the little info center, and I like it. And then again, it's volunteering at the Jumpstart programs too, which we run throughout the year. And I did this last year as a volunteer position, so as a volunteer student ambassador, and the next year I'm a paid student ambassador, so that is nice. But basically I speak on student panels for students and for parents, and then also for counselors. So we'll have students coming in, and then we sit there and they ask us questions and we tell them about it. Parents come in, they ask us questions, we answer it, and the counselors come in and they ask us and we answer it. So I love doing that. And then the last one is peer helper. This is one that I actually start tomorrow. I have to go to school for it, but I get assigned one student who is oncoming freshman in September, and basically they have my phone number, I have their phone number, and they can spam me 24/7 if they want to with questions, and it is my job to help them. So it's like my little mentee, and I am their mentor, and I think it is the cutest thing ever, and I get to meet her tomorrow, and I'm excited for that. And I applied for this just because I had such a good first year experience. And I didn't have like a mentor, but I had friends there that were in older classes, older levels, and I could be like, hey, please help me, and they were all so kind, and that's why I had such a good experience, and I want to let other people have that, so I signed up for this. Pancon Media, so this is work. These are clients I currently have, hello Dad, and then this is future clients that I'm working on. So this is all social media marketing. So currently I'm working with Rent YBR, Dad. I'm no longer working with VBrowse just because our industry's kind of did not click, and I was, no. But then Dr. Monam Cosmetic Clinic, which was my first client, and I'm very thankful for her. And then M Seminars, which is immigration education. And then coming up is Metrotown Flooring Construction, because I will be sending that proposal today, I promise. Yeah, so marketing, basically all I do is help these companies grow their brand image and their brand awareness. YouTube ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, basically any ad that you can access from a mobile device or your laptop or anything that connects to the internet. And I help these companies out with that. Rent YVR is property management company. Hi.
And there's also, I think, I heard you were doing something with Audi as well.
So the with Capilano Audi, I guess kind of helping them out, and of course the Rotary Club of West Vancouver Sunrise. We got marketing going in there too, of course. But yeah, Capilano Audi has been very sweet to me. So yes, yes, that is that. So current Rotary journey. There's one missing on here, and it is Adventure Citizenship. That is my next slide. Basically, it started with the Interact Club. My dad joined the club, and then at school, he was like, hey, there's a high school version of this, you should join it. So then I joined the Interact Club, met Ardath there, and then Ardath was like, hey, I know your dad. And then I met Ardath, I think I was 16 or 15 at the time, and then became club executive for the Interact Club at Rockridge. And then after that, the first project I really did with it was Santa's Workshop, which was the project that I led in my grade 12 year at Rockridge, and it was to raise money for the Interact Club, because mostly what we did was sell bubble tea and cookies, which is great, it's cute, but it raises about like $25, and it's like, okay, well, like we gotta raise more money. So we did Santa's Workshop, which was during Christmas time. Families brought in things that are very nice, but they don't need anymore, and it's also very nice having a West Vancouver location for that. And then you just throw like a $5, $2, $1, $10 label on things, and then at lunch open up the gym, and the kids would come in, and then it was perfect for, like, mostly our like clientele was like grade 8 to grade 10, because a lot of those people don't have jobs because they legally cannot have jobs. So when they can finish Christmas shopping for like brand new items for like $15, they really like that. So that was a successful project.
We have a chance to support you in that project in that time, because everything is so fast happened. But thanks Karen, she brought
My
you
parents
some
so
of the stuff for,
yes.
you remember to donate and support you in that time.
Yes,
And you didn't collect that much money, only 200 something, I believe.
I think it was about 200 something, but it was
Yeah.
still more than we have raised.
But we have very happy kids, right?
Exactly, like we have really happy kids, you know, and it's like, yes, we do go to school in West Vancouver, but as I said, just because you go to school in West Vancouver does not mean you live in West Vancouver, and just because you live in West Vancouver does not mean you have money to spend on Christmas shopping. And like, I remember this one girl came in and we had clothes there, like just like a bunch of jackets, and we were like $5 for like Columbia, like nice fleece jackets, and she came in and bought all of them. And I was like, my heart right now. And
Why she bought all of it? Tell me the
like
story.
she wanted them for herself and stuff, just because she was like, I want these jackets, and they're like $170 at Sport Shack, and they're $5 here. And she was so happy, and I was like, oh my god, like my heart.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that's too bad, because I think we didn't really understand about that workshop, because I think everybody in the club would have contributed. I think I didn't really know what you were
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah,
so.
it was super last minute, I think,
Yeah.
because I ran this like second week of December, and I think I came up with this idea like second week of
I think it's
November.
a great idea. It's
Are they
good to
still
know.
doing it?
I don't know, I have no contact with anyone from the track club because they're all much younger now,
Well,
but
I'm youth now, so I'm glad to hear that, because I think it's a great idea, and I think that the lack of support was because we didn't really understand.
yeah, and then I also had a lot of
happening.
support from the
Yeah.
school itself. Miss Larsu, who was the president then, was super, I mean, the principal of
Yeah.
the school was so helpful
Yeah.
then, but Miss Larsu's gone now, and I can't remember the new
Yeah,
principal's name.
that's fine, but that's a good idea.
But what I want to do is I think go back to Rockridge, maybe October or November with Ardath for one of the Interact Club meetings, and
Karen.
oh, Karen, right, yeah,
Karen
sorry.
and Leo also.
Yes,
in that,
with
yeah.
Leo, and then I think we should all go, and then
Give them some ideas.
give them.
on
I
how
guess
to-
I still have the entire proposal on my Google Docs. I gave it to the principal, so I took it to the principal, the vice principal, and then like all like the
That would
staff.
be helpful, yeah.
So I have all of that, so just going there and being like, hey, we did this, it was pretty successful, it can be way more successful if you guys start planning it before. Give them the proposal and help them do it, because it is so helpful, and then, like, it's great for the club. it also raises awareness. It's like, what is Interact Club? So you don't really hear about it. You hear about bubble tea sale, but you don't hear Interact Club bubble tea sale. You just hear bubble tea, and then your kids go buy bubble tea.
Especially the younger kids went to the shopping.
Yeah.
Because the older kids feel a little bit bad to go there, but the younger kids, they don't care.
Oh, they don't care.
And around 200 transactions, is right?
Yeah.
200.
No, we sold things for way cheaper. Like there was things for like $1, and there was a kid. They're like, I have a quarter, and I'm like, it's all yours, man. Like take it. But it's still good. It's like it's great for the club, raises awareness. Students at the school get presents or things for themselves. I bought one thing, and then at the same time, you're helping the families get rid of things they don't need, right? It's like no one really cleans out their house ever.
And we're trying to start another Interact Club, right? Mowbray?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be something we could offer them as a.
Yeah, like I have the entire proposal still that was approved by the board, like the school board in 2018.
I know you're gonna really say your plate, but it's okay, if you could send me that.
Just remind me to, and I will. But
Okay,
this is
I
not
will.
enough of a reminder, I will forget in about 5 seconds.
I'll send you a reminder right now.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Then the third thing was the Rotary International Convention in Toronto that I went to at the end of my grade 12 year, so not this summer, but last summer. And that is where I volunteered the shelter box booth. This is the photo at the shelter box booth. That is Tess. Her name is Tess, she's very kind. It was fun, just sitting in the showroom, and then shelter box booth, got my little shelter box shirt, my name tag, and then just telling people what shelter box is. And then I spent a lot of time walking around there and looking at fun. There's so many projects happening, like being in there, you're like, oh my god. And like they're all related to Rotary in a way. I wish I could have experienced the entire convention, but I did not have a pass to enter anything except for the showroom. But it was still excellent. And then while I was there, I actually ran into Kateri, who was the person who led the Adventure in Citizenship in Ottawa. And I'm just like kind of walking, and she was like, hey Selin, like, what are you doing here? Like I saw you a month ago, and then saw her, so that was an interesting interaction. And then the fifth thing is Rotary Right to Rescue. I was not involved in it last year, because I had no idea what was happening, I did not even come to it, but this year I helped out with like the marketing for it, and then actually being there and seeing it all come together. It was an amazing experience. Thank you, Karen, for that. So that is what I've done with the Rotary so far. And then of course the Adventure in Citizenship, this was like hands down like my favorite thing within the Rotary. 5 days in Ottawa at the end of April of my grade 12 year. 5 days, 200 people, living in an RV with 4 other girls. Very interesting but very fun. We did War Museum, we went to Quebec, I did a whole presentation on this a little while ago, I'm just going over it really quickly. Parliament, House of Commons, Quebec, all of that, and then I am still friends with these 2 girls and that guy. John works in Whistler now, so he used to live in Ontario, he's up in Whistler now, and he comes out to Vancouver, so I've seen him a few times, and then he gave me my best friend free ski pass to Whistler, which was very kind of him. The girl in the middle is Emmy, she lives in Toronto, and then last summer while I was in Toronto, I was like, hello, I am here, and then we spent like 3 days together in Toronto, which was so nice. It's a small world. She is best friends with my cousin who lives in Toronto. So we all hung out, and it was just super weird. I was like, how is this all coming together? Hanging out with my cousin and this girl that like is my friend that I met in Ottawa, and then my cousin's other friend who was also friends with her, who I've met like 4 years earlier. It was weird. So we just did a lot of downtown things together, which was super nice. And then the girl on the right in the jean jacket is Anna, and she lives in Nova Scotia, and she's an opera singer, and she's very good at it. Wow. And she's amazing. We had a talent show, and it was like, oh my god, like she's so good at singing. So that is Anna, and she's going to U of T next year to like the music school. And then yes, those are my friends. Swimming and karate. We're just putting in 2 sports in here because I wanted to have 10 slides. Now I was running out of information. I swam and I did karate while I was in high school. I stopped both. Once high school ended, just because it's hard to balance like 20 hours of swimming a week plus university plus full-time work plus volunteer experience. But swimming changed me as a person. Like my coach, like we'll remember him forever. Such an amazing person. Basically a second dad to me. I mean, like that guy kind of saw me from when I was like 8 until I was 18. Saw him every single day, dealt with all of my problems. Such a great coach. This is my friend Bonnie and I hugging. This was after my last race ever. So this is like the 100 breaststroke final in Victoria last July, and that was our last post-race hug, and I think it's a very cute photo. And then karate, I had my brown belt in karate, did not make it to my black belt just because I had an injury happen. It was a training camp for provincials for karate, and then I got kicked in the head. This ear already has some cool ear damage, and then the other ear received some ear damage, and then that was kind of like my, okay, I only got 2 ears. And then that was when I kind of called it for karate, but I still have all my skills, so don't mess with me. And I love it. I'm so thankful for that too. My sensei, we did karate out in Richmond. We used to live in Richmond, and then Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sunday mornings was training, and great people, family run. Their son, like 11 or 12-time world champion in karate. He just retired this year, and then now he's coaching Team Canada. So Toshi's coaching Team Canada for karate now, and very thankful to have had swimming and karate in my life growing up, because I was competitive in both. I wasn't national in either, but I was provincial in both swimming and karate, and I think they both shaped me so much. Like growing up, they taught me discipline, like waking up at 5 a.m. to go swim, or at karate practice actually getting punched in the face, but like still fighting. Changed me as a person. I'm very thankful for both of those. What the future holds, so coming soon. I want to grow CannaCon. I want more clients. I want to see what I can do with it, just grow it. As a company, I'm going to get my real estate license, because I think it is probably a good idea to get that when my dad is a realtor. I think it would be a helpful thing to have. And then I also do want to get my master's. Once I'm done my bachelor's, I'm probably going to take like a few years off, work on the above 2, and then take my master's in Shanghai. So I'm also going to be learning Mandarin during this little gap in there. And then I believe that is, yes. Thank you for listening.
We have a few minutes if you have any questions. Shan, any questions, or that's the,
It's
The
okay.
question is, yes, it is, for me it's a question. 18 years old, again, sorry, I underlined it a couple times.
Yes.
So knowledgeable, so outgoing, she expressed her thoughts very clear, we understand what she talks. And this is, for us, from my point of view, is treasure, the new generation, the new idea, fresh idea, new breed in our club will be very, very successful.
Thank you.
Starter. You bring more.
So I'll bring my.
yeah, we need more young people there.
Capilano have a swim club?
It does not have a swim club,
Doesn't
no.
have a swim club.
I think the main sports we have is really just like basketball, soccer, volleyball. Is those the main 3 we have going on in the gym. I consider a swim team, but I think I'm past my swimming days.
Okay.
After high school, it's either you're swimming for fitness or you're swimming to go to the Olympics. I'm not going to the Olympics, and working out is hard, so just kind of.
Selin, I'm curious what about your projects. First of all, I'm delighted. Are you actually doing some paid work for Audi?
I don't know actually. I think.
Because they need you.
Yeah. Yes. So.
How about YVR? What is that project?
The Rent YBR is a property management company.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, our
It's not
property
YVR, the airport.
No, it's Rent YBR.
Oh,
So
right,
it's
right.
property.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah.
rental, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so downtown, North Van, West Van, property management. So.
Yeah, those social media things takes lots of time, correct? I really want she be involved to make some money, plus she learn to keep continue to be update herself. Those things is changing a lot, and we don't want she focus 100% to the business,
school.
because she can make lots of money if she work full time. She make very good money, but
No, I also love school. Like
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
stress
that's
it
great
enough.
to hear. I was going to make a comment. I used to be on a board at Kwantlen University, which is similar
Yeah.
history to CAP. And my husband said, one of my husband's nephews came to visit him yesterday, and he was saying how his son, he wanted him to go to a large university, ended up going to CAP in marketing, and just absolutely had the same experience you do, and has gotten 100% this project. Now he's got a great job, and I think it's a real lesson that the whole concept of those smaller universities, they've ended up in some ways being more personal, more
Yeah.
supportive, and it sure changed
No, like,
my
I'm
whole
so
thinking about
thankful.
it, right?
I'm so thankful. Like, I also met people during my first year that were in their fourth year and they graduated and all of them had jobs lined up. Every single one of them had jobs lined up. Some of them found the jobs themselves and some of them had professors actually helping them. Like, you know, like your fourth year marketing research professor is like, hey, I have a connection with X,
Well,
Y,
you
Z.
wouldn't get that in a large university.
You don't, like, your teachers don't even know your name. You
Yeah.
know, like, you are actually student number 500.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I thought, what you said was so interesting, because he was saying exactly the same
Exactly,
thing
and it's like,
yesterday.
you're lucky if your TA knows your name. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, you're lucky if your TA knows your name.
So that's great, it shows
Very
that.
nice.
And also, it's a very interesting because I haven't seen before I haven't have any university experience in Canada. In Turkey, my university is very similar to the large, giant universities in Canada. But in this Capilano, they are giving a daily task, and she has to put in the until 11 o'clock or something. There is a timeline. If you not do that, you are.
Oh yeah, like I had like daily assignments to do. Like not like every couple of days, but
Yeah.
like it actually keeps you on your education because like when you're sitting in a lecture hall, you have a textbook, you're probably not listening, and you kind of really fall off track with school. But then at CAP, it's like it's not mandatory either. It's all optional, but it's like an optional 10%. And it's like just an assignment every week, small things, the smallest things. Like for marketing, it would be like research 10 marketing jobs available in North Vancouver today, and you would submit that. It's 1%, but everyone does it. So you have like that initiative too. Like people think there's a stigma around Capilano University where it's like you go there if you did not get into a bigger university. But like after going there, like there's people who transfer from these bigger schools and come here.
Yeah.
And like some of the smartest people I've ever met actually go to CAP. Like I have some friends that go to like UBC and SFU and I still question how they are in university sometimes. But like at CAP, like there are amazing people out there who are doing amazing things. And then I'm very thankful for it. That's all I have to say. I'm very thankful. Thank you.
We have to thank you. We're not doing the polio donation because it's a
Darn.
classification speech. But, and Randy made good comments about your obvious abilities at your age. We envy you. The discussion we had this morning points out, and I do thank you as well, the amount of work you've done for us from when you first became aware of Rotary, and now of course with Matt as president, much more, but working with Chris and so on. But the discussion we had this morning was the two extremes, the older folks, not old, but older, and then what you're seeing. And like Karen's comments and stuff, it's very important we hear what you see, because you can look at it from a media point of view as well as just general knowledge. And it's a real benefit to us. And we appreciate, we wish we had any of your energy. We haven't. Maybe we did at one point, but certainly at your age, we weren't as capable as you are. But I would like to say thank you on behalf of the club that you come out to our meetings every week and you contribute to us very favorably and keep us honest, keep us knowledgeable and so on. And I don't know do you take any time to sleep?
Not really.
No.
I'd like Selin to come back in the fall or in the winter and make, a focused presentation on something too, because I think a lot of our members who aren't here today would love to hear.
Yeah, I think the real disappointment to me is that how many people are away right now, and it's a terrible time of year for that, because they would have very much enjoyed hearing what you have to say. But I
You
don't
can
know
watch the
your-
video.
That's true. That's
Way
true.
to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason the videos is excellent.
Anyway, thank you,
Thank you
Selin.
so much. Thank you.